Have you ever wondered how a prince born into one of history's greatest warrior dynasties could lose an empire, wander in exile, and yet rise again to reclaim his throne against all odds? This is the extraordinary story of Nasir-ud-Din Muhammad Humayun, the second Mughal emperor, the son of Babur, heir to a powerful dream, and father of the legendary Akbar the Great. Humayun's life was not a simple tale of royal success. It was a dramatic journey of inheritance, ambition, betrayal, exile, love, loss, and remarkable return. This video is made for your English listening practice. Listen in a quiet place with patience. Hopefully, you will improve your listening skills. It takes a lot of effort to make a video. Just a like and a subscribe button hit is okay for us. Humayun was born on March 6, 1508, in Kabul, a city of mountains, gardens, and military power. He was born into greatness, but greatness itself often carries heavy burdens. His father was Zahir-ud-Din Muhammad Babur, the fearless founder of the Mughal Empire in India, a direct descendant of Timur on his father's side, and Genghis Khan through his mother's lineage. This meant Humayun inherited one of the most extraordinary bloodlines in history. He was the grandson of conquerors and kings. His mother, Maham Begum, was Babur's chief consort and an influential woman of dignity and intelligence. She carefully supervised Humayun's upbringing, ensuring he received both royal discipline and refined education. From childhood, Humayun grew up in a world of courtly sophistication and military expectation. He studied Persian literature, astrology, mathematics, theology, and military strategy. Like his father, he loved poetry, knowledge, and beauty. He was thoughtful, generous, and imaginative. But unlike Babur, Humayun often seemed more dreamy than decisive. He had charm, kindness, and intelligence, yet he sometimes lacked the swift ruthlessness that empire building often required. Babur loved Humayun deeply. Their bond became legendary. According to a famous story, when Humayun became dangerously ill as a young man, Babur prayed that his own life be taken in exchange for his son's recovery. Whether literal or symbolic, this story reveals the emotional depth of Babur's love. Humayun recovered. Babur died in 1530. At only 22 years old, Humayun inherited the Mughal throne. But he did not inherit a stable empire. Babur had conquered vast territories, but these lands were still fragile. Rival Afghan chiefs, Rajput rulers, ambitious nobles, and even Humayun's own brothers threatened Mughal unity. Humayun's brothers, Kamran Mirza, Askari Mirza, and Hindal Mirza, were not merely family members. They were also political rivals. Babur had advised Humayun to treat his brothers kindly, and Humayun obeyed. He divided territories among them, hoping for family harmony. This generosity, however, became one of his greatest weaknesses. His brothers often acted selfishly, prioritizing personal power over loyalty. Still, Humayun began his reign with ambition. He wanted not only to preserve Babur's empire, but to expand it. He fought campaigns in Gujarat and against Afghan powers, attempting to secure Mughal authority. At first, he achieved successes, but then emerged one of the most formidable enemies in Mughal history, Sher Shah Suri. Sher Shah was an Afghan leader of exceptional military and administrative genius. Unlike many rivals, he was disciplined, strategic, and patient. Humayun underestimated him. This mistake would cost him dearly. In 1539, at the Battle of Chausa, Humayun suffered a devastating defeat. Then in 1540, at the Battle of Kannauj, Sher Shah defeated him again. Humayun lost his empire. Delhi was gone. The Mughal emperor became a wandering exile. This was one of the darkest chapters of his life. Humayun, once ruler of northern India, was forced to flee across deserts, mountains, and hostile lands. He experienced poverty, danger, and humiliation. Many allies abandoned him. Some brothers betrayed him. He moved through Sindh and harsh territories with little security. Yet even during these painful years, Humayun's story was not without love. During his exile, he met Hamida Banu Begum, a young Persian noblewoman of intelligence and strength. Their marriage became one of the most important relationships of his life. Though their early relationship reportedly faced hesitation, Humayun was older and politically unstable. Hamida eventually became his loyal companion through hardship. She did not marry an emperor in glory. She married a fallen king in exile. Together, they endured suffering. In 1542, while Humayun was still displaced, Hamida gave birth in the desert fortress of Umarkot to a son named Jalal-ud-Din Muhammad Akbar. This child, born during hardship, would one day become Akbar the Great. Humayun's life at this stage seemed almost tragic. A king without a kingdom, a father without security, and a ruler dependent on uncertain alliances. Eventually, Humayun sought refuge in Persia under Shah Tahmasp of the Safavid Empire. This was a turning point. Though accepting Persian help required political compromise, it gave Humayun military support, protection, and a chance to rebuild. In Persia, Humayun absorbed Persian art, architecture, court culture, and administration more deeply than before. These influences would later shape Mughal culture profoundly. With Persian assistance, Humayun recaptured Kandahar and Kabul. Gradually, he rebuilt strength. Years passed. Sher Shah Suri died in 1545, and the Sur Empire began weakening under less capable successors. Humayun saw opportunity. In 1555, after nearly 15 years in exile, Humayun returned to India. This return was remarkable. He defeated his enemies and reclaimed Delhi. The lost emperor had returned. It was a moment of redemption, resilience, and destiny fulfilled. Humayun once again became Mughal emperor. But fate, which had tested him so often, had one final twist. Humayun was known for his fascination with astrology, books, and scholarship. He loved learning deeply and maintained a grand library. In January 1556, while descending the stairs of his library in Delhi, reportedly after hearing the call to prayer, Humayun slipped, fell, and suffered fatal injuries. Just months after reclaiming his empire, he died. He was only 47 years old. His death was sudden, tragic, and almost poetic. A man who survived wars, betrayal, exile, and political collapse was defeated not on a battlefield, but by a staircase. After Humayun's death, his 13-year-old son Akbar inherited the throne under the guidance of Bayram Khan. Akbar would go on to become one of the greatest emperors in world history, transforming the Mughal Empire into a vast and powerful civilization. Humayun's heirs included Akbar, his greatest successor, Mirza Muhammad Hakim, several royal daughters and descendants through powerful Mughal lineage. Though Humayun is often overshadowed by Babur's conquests and Akbar's greatness, his life carries a unique and powerful lesson. He was the bridge. He preserved Babur's dream during disaster and passed it on to Akbar's golden age. Humayun's tomb in Delhi, commissioned by Hamida Banu Begum, became one of the architectural wonders of India and later inspired elements of the Taj Mahal. His personal life reveals a man of kindness, culture, romance, and resilience. He was not always the strongest strategist, but he possessed patience, dignity, and the rare ability to rise after devastating loss. His story is not merely about empire, it is about falling and rising again. Humayun's life teaches that inheritance alone does not guarantee greatness. Sometimes greatness lies in survival. He was the prince of Babur, the exile king, the lover of Hamida, the father of Akbar, and the emperor who returned. From royal beginnings to heartbreaking exile, from desert wanderer to restored ruler, Humayun's journey remains one of history's most compelling stories. A reminder that even when destiny seems lost, courage can reclaim it.